Let's discuss some money-making ideas, and for that, let's go to Gargi.
Well, Nikunj, dealers suggesting that one can go short on SBI. In fact, we saw some pressure coming in on the Bank Nifty and most of the other banking counters in today's session. And, the expectation build up on banks was really coming in from bond deals, which were expected to crack, but some increase in bond deals. That's what probably not auguring well for the banks. SBI in particular, a sell recommendation coming in on that one. If you look at the last 5-day performance, more or less flat, returns that we've seen on SBI. But on a month-to-date basis, about 7% increase that we saw in that counter. Today, however, just profit booking that was witnessed on that State Bank. NBCC is the other one where a buy recommendation is coming in. Some big order expected in the next couple of weeks for this company. In fact, some government land in Delhi expected to be some development activity expected to happen very soon, and the orders coming NBCC's way. If you look at the 5-day performance, even if you look at a month-to-date performance, some momentum that NBCC has been gaining. So clearly keep a watch on these two counters.
Sandeep Agle, what are your top ideas for tomorrow?
Nikunj, one is the one Reliance we have already discussed. That is the first idea. Buy in Reliance, stop loss 845, target 896. This is a trading view. For a position view, I have already given you the targets. The second one is a sell in Bata, stop loss of 845, target 815. And the third one is a sell in Sesa Goa, stop loss 195, target 180.
Narendra, if I look at your last declared portfolio, unlike consensus, as a house, you are underweight on autos. Why is that?
See, it's actually very simple. See, if you see what the government needs to do in 2013 is increase diesel price very significantly, increase LPG price, and possibly find a way to increase excise duties. If you look at this combination, you're in a situation where you have no choice but to look at taxing autos, and you've got to see a lower growth in autos, possibly a negative trend in autos for some time till the whole thing stabilizes. That's the reason for our call on autos. Metals is always a tactical call whenever people believe that, there'll be a cyclical rally in China. It's one of the very, very cheap sectors in India, so you can actually buy stocks which are really cheap and bet on a China turnaround. And surprisingly in metals, we've always had scenes where you get 20-30% quickly, and you're able to, if you book profits, again you get them cheaper and again you're able to buy them. So it's never a secular story, unfortunately, because the China super cycle is possibly over. But you still get many of these opportunities to actually invest in. We again got that opportunity in December 2012, what we got in December 2011.
Gul, before we wrap the show, let's discuss some stock ideas, since this is our first interaction for 2013. Won't let you go till the time you don't give me some names.
They're pretty much the same names, Nikunj. Not changing the strategy much, and basically till this government sets its house in order, that is fiscal deficit and current account deficits, and obviously the infrastructure side more particularly, I don't think we need to change our stories in consumption or in pharma, or for that matter in banking. They're pretty much the same things which are going to go up, because as I also believe that the cyclicals are not in a place to be invested aggressively in. You can have tactical calls and keep moving in and moving out of them as and when you see that the stocks are bleeding or going down. But by and large, it's the same thing, repeat in this 2nd year. And, individual companies, frankly, sometimes are best not discussed on national TV at least.
But if I insist on some names?
Well, pretty much the same names. You go across and buy an SBI when it corrects a bit more, or you go across and buy some pharma companies. Like I continue to hold a reasonably decent view of Wockhardt and a few other companies here or there. I mean, it's not that, any new listed entities have come which you can take a big call on. So you'll have to wait and watch as to what the opportunities come. The other company which I recently bought into was CARE, because it's reasonably priced as compared to its peers, second largest, and pretty much a well-known story.
Right. Cool. Thank you for your time and thank you for your insights. Naren and Sandeep Agle, thank you for joining us on this edition of Markets Tomorrow.